Hi, Julia. So thank you so much for booking a reading. I know it's been like insanely long. So I'm excited to dive in for this in-depth reading and see what we get and see how it fits and like what you think. If you feel comfortable reaching out afterwards and giving feedback, obviously that'd be great. But it is absolutely not necessary. So I've gone ahead and I have picked 3 different spreads that I feel are going to be a good fit for this in-depth reading. I actually love that you gave me no context whatsoever, no questions, no nothing. This really helps us dive in and find out and uncover some maybe hidden truths that are just waiting to be discovered. So there might be breaks in the video that I'm going to be stitching together just because of how I have to film with the setup I have. But first off, I'm going to just show you the 3 spreads that I picked out. I also want to make it known we're not limited to these spreads. So if I feel like we need to draw a couple cards off of something within the spread, I will do so. That might not happen. It might. So anyway, I have this clarity spread that I love to use with clients. It's a general idea of where you can focus and put your energy. From there, I have this Free Your Mind spread, and that kind of just dives a little deeper and gives a little more emphasis into the aspects and parts of our lives where we feel a little stuck. And from there, we move on to a Mountains and Molehills spread, which is the real in-depth 12-card spread that goes over major spiritual challenges, minor spiritual challenges, major emotional, minor emotional challenges, mental challenges, and any other challenges of the like. And it goes in order of main, major, and minor. So keep that in mind as we get to that spread as well. Of course, I will talk it through then too. So next up, I use a combination of different decks. I use a combination of tarot and oracle as well in these readings. I feel it gives us much a greater insight into the things that we're looking for and the answers that we're looking for. So I have them set up over here. Most of the breaks are going to be when I'm wanting to get set up with another deck. So anyway, first break, I'm going to pause it right now and get some things cleared up and get the cards rolling. The deck I am starting with, though, is my Tarot the Divine deck. I will use this deck throughout all the spreads because this is the deck I predominantly use. The other deck that I use most often is this Weaver deck, just in case you're curious about the ones that you'll see more often. And then I do have my other Oracle decks here as well. We'll draw some angel inspiration and yeah, let's get into it. All right, so I'm back. I got my deck out, but I am gonna do a few shuffles on camera just so that we know that this energy is for you. And then we're gonna do another one. So this one is an 8-card spread. This is where we're starting. This is the clarity spread. It gives us a little bit of insight to start with, and then from there we dive a little deeper. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Unfortunately, my camera does not allow me to pan down, so I'm just going to pause the camera. I'll show you what we have laid out in front of us, and we'll get back to reading. All right, so this is what we have laid out. These are the cards that were drawn in relation to this spread, so let's get to diving in and reading what they mean. All right, so you got an idea of just the cards that are laid out on the table currently. I do know that you know about tarot, so I'm sure you can make your own conclusions with what you saw briefly as well. However, our first card is a card that represents the biggest fear or the biggest distraction that is currently in your life, and we have the 8 of Cups reversed. So this is letting me know that You have already done the work of managing emotions and putting them in categories and solidifying that it's time to walk away from a situation that is hard for you to say goodbye to. This is a situation that has left you extremely emotionally drained, and this is something that I feel has to do and pertain to a specific person in your life who you have given your all to and have come to the crossroads, and you know that you should walk away. However, there is this part of you that also knows that in good faith and morally it does not feel right for you to do so. This is a fear of yours. This fear is presenting itself in a manner that you are incapable of walking away for a number of reasons. These reasons might come up later on in the reading, or they might keep themselves hidden. And if they are to keep themselves hidden, it is for a good reason. As of right now, your biggest distraction in life is this inability to emotionally detach from the situation at hand. And because of that, you feel left in the dark. You feel scared. You feel like you've already walked away. And yet, no matter how far away you get from this situation, this distraction, this impediment, it's never going to be enough. And for that reason, we have it in reverse. Now, it's interesting because I don't read reversals. I somewhat go out of my way to keep my cards upright. So when a reversed card comes up, I know it's meant to be in reverse and in that state. So keep that in mind as we go through our readings. It is extremely, extremely uncommon for me to get a card reversed. Moving on. Is where you should focus your energy instead. Instead of this fear, and instead of expelling these emotions and always finding yourself having to rebuild yourself and build yourself back up and get beaten down and build yourself up and beaten down, and this process and this cycle, instead of doing that, you need to focus on your worth and your inner power. Focus on the things that make you special. Focus on the things that make you feel powerful. Give yourself as many positive affirmations as you possibly can. I know it's easier said than done. I know getting to a meditative state is extremely hard. Do whatever you need to do get to that point, while also treating yourself with the grace that you need. Make sure that you're feeding your body healthy nutrients. Make sure that you're getting enough sunlight and connecting with nature. Make sure that you don't wake up one day, for instance, and have the first thing be, I feel like shit today. Today's gonna suck. You're setting yourself up for failure. We do it all the time. We know we do it. I do it far too often myself. The big message here with this where to focus instead, we have a temperance card. We have a major arcana card. Not only that, a major transition card. This is telling me that where you need to focus your energy instead is on a major transition in your life. And the only way this transition can take place for you to be able to get ahead and thrive and flourish is if you're able to force yourself to do that due diligence and put in that work and effort needed to say, I am good enough. I've always been good enough. I am happy. I am always happy. I am beautiful. I'm always beautiful. I am loved. I am love. Things like that. If you have a hard time writing them down or speaking them out loud to yourself, what I always tell my clients is to put notes around the house or on the mirror, wherever you look first thing in the morning, and make sure you read that to yourself over and over and over again, even if you don't believe it. As you know, with positive affirmations, over time, it'll start to develop and it'll start to turn into something greater than just the words that you're speaking. It'll start to take on, and you'll start to take on this new persona. And so as I was saying, those positive affirmations are going to be and mean a lot. And then the other main message here on where to focus your energy with the temperance card in particular is that of feeling. There is a main distinction between emotion and feeling when we pull the temperance card. Emotions come and they create feeling. And when we have big emotions, we tend to shut off the feeling. Right now, it's extremely crucial for you to focus your energy on feeling all there is to feel in its entirety, and almost eliminate the emotional aspect. Allow the allow the feelings to flow. That's how fine that line is. Allow the feelings to flow. And with it will come that temperance and that meditative, happy sense of self and sense of individuality. This 8 reversed is leaving you feeling as though the parts of who you are have been stripped from you. And because of that stripping of your authenticity, you need something to bring you back to who you are in your true essence, in your true form. And moving right along, we have some past experiences that both need to be let go of and that are useful at the same time. We need to let go of the climb that you have taken so far. We need to let go of there's been a passion of yours that you have tried to pursue, and you find yourself in this cycle of taking steps and falling, taking steps and falling, taking steps and falling. And it feels cyclical. It feels never ending. And you're questioning your life right now. You're questioning the decisions that you're making. You're questioning the route that you want to go. And this is an experience that has left you feeling disheveled, and it's time to let that go. It's time to understand that on the horizon, there is a past experience that shows profitability and shows newfound action and newfound actions and newfound gains as well. We have the Ace of Coins in our useful past experiences. In the past, you have found that success. You have found yourself in a position where success has been around you, that has come out of your hard work and your endeavors and your passions and your creativity. I am sensing here the reason we have the 3 of Wands and an experience to let go of is because it's very common for us to want to see and have instant gratification. And in the past, there has been some instances of instant gratification. And in turn, it has made you and led you to choose to maybe make a leap of faith without fully analyzing where this is all coming from. So if anything, your past experiences are showing me a need to slow down and take baby steps. Slow down and go back to square one. Where did this passion come from? What exactly started it? And go back to where that happened. Go back to that state of mind. Surround yourself with certain elements that were in your life at that time and start over and do so in a different manner. Which leads us on to the other side of this spread, what you can cultivate. And we have the 8 of Wands, and this goes right along with our 3 of Wands here. You have so much creative passion and energy within you that it is exploding. You feel it. It's in there. It's bubbling. It is burning up, and it's time to let that fly. It is time to let that go. You need an outlet for that energy, and you need an outlet for that creativity, and you need to share that with anyone and everyone. Do not be afraid. Our next card here is the next step, and this leads me into what I was saying of do not be afraid. We have the 4 of Cups. Emotions and feelings are a huge battle of yours, and needing to maintain a level understanding of where emotions coming from and the feelings associated with them and letting them flow, like we talked about earlier, is presenting itself again. Now, with this card position, this card is representative of the next step. So we have our 8 of Wands, which is what you can cultivate. Cultivate that creativity, cultivate that passion. What is it in your life that makes you feel complete and whole? What is that element of your life that makes you feel purposeful, like you are doing good, that you are helping people? That is what you are meant to do. That is what you are meant to share with the world. And you should do so in a manner where you're able to balance the positive and the negatives that are going to come along with it. I feel there's a lot of negative connotations that go along with this modality of yours that you do want to pursue. And that's okay, because what I also see here is you remaining very strong in what it is that feels right to you, and following that passion and that light and that energy is going to be all you need to overcome the negativity. Inner strength of yours couldn't be a better card because it is the strength card. Your inner strength, we get strength. And I feel that speaks for itself. I feel like you do not give yourself enough credit for the individual that you are. You have overcome a lot of very difficult moments in life that I don't feel a lot of people could ever relate to in their entirety. There is a huge internal battle, a battle that has been overcome, a battle that is being overcome, a battle that you need to believe is being overcome. Your strength is undeniable. The inner strength that you have within yourself to continue to fight and to continue to push on is unlike any other. You are guided, you are connected, you are spiritual, you have gifts that you deserve to be able to share and speak of openly. The fact that your strength card shows up within the inner strength column here of this reading is profound in of itself. Moving right along though into our last card of this specific spread is outside help or an advisor, and yet again we couldn't get a more perfect card. We have the King of Coins, we have a court card, and that is letting me know that right now is the most perfect, crucial time for you to reach out for a mentor or an advisor when it comes to this journey that you want to go on. I see that you want to explore yourself. I see that you're ready to explore the parts of you that you have maybe been fearful of before. You are strong and you are capable and you are ready, and you have gone through the gauntlet time and time and time again, and you have fallen time and time again, but you've always been able to get to a point where you're able to start anew. You've walked away and it's come back around. You've walked away again and it's come back around. But you're strong and you're resilient. And this person here is going to be somebody who is very wise beyond their years. The king can sometimes represent an older entity with a more youthful vitality, or vice versa. It can be a more youthful vitality, a younger individual with the wisdom of somebody that is much older. This energy can come from within yourself. However, this is definitely somebody in your life that you either need to meet or have already met. If somebody comes to mind when I mention this card and these sort of qualities, that is generally the person that you should seek out for help or advice. The person that you feel is going to be able to listen to you without judgment and be able to give you advice and point you in directions that you feel are appropriate for you is who you should look to at this moment in time. This might be somebody in... because this is a coin card, this very well could be somebody that works within a field of spirituality, and might be, I feel like this is leading you to exploring taking up certain classes on topics that are interesting to you, that might help you develop who you are as a person. Past life regression work, past life in general seems to be coming through to me from my guides right now, are going to help you heal at a somatic level. So also look into somatics and how that works, and I feel like that's going to be a really great stepping point for you to get that and gain that understanding. I'm going to wipe these cards and we're going to move right on along. All right, so this next spread that I feel is going to be a good bridge between what we just talked about and that more in-depth sort of spiritual obstacles, emotional, mental obstacles is the Freeing the Mind spread. I don't feel we're going to spend an overly long amount of time on this spread. I am using my Weaver deck for this because it's not a very in-depth visual deck here. So let's just see what comes up and see if it kind of just helps bridge that gap. Because although I wouldn't say there is a blockage, there is apprehension that I am picking up on from your end and from your guides as to how much information wants to be shared and wants to be open. And I'll leave it at that because I'm starting to get more coming from your guides, but there's a lot of fear and apprehension there. So this one, I hope is, there we go, is going to give us a good like break here. First card I got is the Six of Swords, and the first card here is what is currently holding you down. There has been a lot of hurtful words thrown around by somebody very close to you, by somebody that you feel is a confidant, somebody who sends you gifts. So what I see here is relationship-wise, there have been hurt words that have been said. I see that this has been on both sides of the spectrum here. And I feel like by nature, both of you guys are very caring individuals who feel very guilty after these words have been said. I see a lot of resilience rising up through these altercations, but it's most certainly relationship led, and it's most certainly on both sides of the spectrum. The next card we get is the Ruler of Wands, and this is why this is holding you down. The person that I sense that this is happening with is somebody who is fiercely independent, and yet at the same time fiercely codependent, if that makes sense. I'm sure it will to you, because that's what's coming through to me here. This is somebody who feels like they are very well rounded and might have a hard time accepting that they have work to do themselves, while again at the same time being ready and being prepared to take on whatever comes next. This is somebody who also has a skill set to them that is very amazing. Actually, this person possesses a skill that can really drive them places and bring them places, and because of that element, I am sensing that there might be a little bit of tension here, because you're wanting to see them follow this dream and this aspiration and this passion, and they're wanting to hold back because they don't believe in themselves, and because of that, it's causing this clash. What's interesting here, though, is for this specific spread, it's mentioning what's holding you down. I don't feel this is holding you down. I feel this is just taking up a lot of your time mentally and emotionally. Ace of Coins, though, comes next, and this is how you can free yourself from being held down. We got the Ace of Coins in our last spread as well. The way that this can help free you from being held down is by focusing on your passion and your energy and what you can do to satisfy yourself. Through your outward exertion and through your hard work and your endeavors and following your dreams, this is going to help inspire this person, this significant other, is what I feel, to do the same. When they see you succeed, they are going to want to succeed as well. When they see you follow your passions and you take that leap and you say, you know what, I am no longer going to let other people take the lead. It's time for me to jump out on my own. As scary as that might be, it is then going to allow this other person to feel like they can too, which in turn is going to keep you from feeling held down. Now, when I pulled that card, this card jumped out at us as well. And this is the Nine of Wands. So the way that I read cards that pop out like that on me is by overlapping the two, such as like this. So one thing that's going to hold you back from being able to follow this energy and go off on your own route without allowing the feelings that it brings you of leaving behind your partner, maybe, because that's most likely the feeling that's going to arise, is going to be this Nine of Wands. It's going to be, there's a key to unlock this hidden potential of yours, and that key is simply being able to feel strong and empowered enough to say, I got this, I can do this. It's my time, and I am not going to let anyone hold me down. And I am not saying that your significant other is holding you down, because I do not see that they are at all. I feel if anything, you're holding yourself down through that external way of saying, well, I need to be here for them. And because I need to be here for them, I can't put myself first. That's not the case here. Your creative energy, it's ready to be unlocked. The key is in there. It is ready to be turned. It is time to turn that key. A new way, though, and this is why I love this spread. The next card is a new way that you can free yourself from being held down. And again, I really don't like this terminology of held down in this case scenario. Sometimes it's fitting. I don't feel it's fitting in this case, but let's see what we get. How can you free yourself from being held down? What do we get? Aha. Conqueror of Coins. We have another coin card. And this yet again solidifies this. There is a passion. There is something in there. There is something you are meant to do. There are messages that you are meant to give others. There are messages you are meant to receive and share with others. You have a talent that you are meant to share with others. And you are the conqueror of coins here. You are this person who is able to inspire others. And you need to believe that. You need to stab the shit out of that passion and be like, this is mine, bitch. Take it by the reins and don't be afraid of what is to come. Allowing yourself the ability to believe that what you have to share is important is going to open up a world of possibilities. Do not be afraid what others have to say. Ignore everything if you need to at first, besides the positive. If somebody doesn't have anything positive to say, they're not worth your energy or your time. You are the conqueror of coins. And not only that, being in this position of conqueror of coins shows positive monetary gain coming your way as well if you're able to follow this path and you're able to put yourself first. So this is also positive in a monetary sense. Oh, that was quick. Our next card is an energy to release and incorporate and finding peace and stillness. And we have the Ace of Swords. We're getting a lot of aces, new beginnings, new beginnings. Ace of Swords, an energy to release and or incorporate to find peace is that new beginning, that finding your voice, finding the words within you to share with others, to empower you and empower those around you is going to be important. Releasing the negative energies and negative connotations that others have placed upon you as well when you have started to follow your passions is going to be important as well. These two overlap. Release the negativity of others while incorporating your ability to take this leap of faith and start something new and believe in yourself. Try and find a way to incorporate those two. How you can live your truth. Huge part of my line of work is helping people discover their truth and follow their truth. And we have the Sun card. You are destined to spread light and positivity. You are destined to share messages with others. And the only way you can live your truth is if you live in a constant state of building yourself up. Your feelings and emotions get the best of you. The Sun card is here to remind you of that importance. And so to finish off the Sun card here as how you can live your truth, it's important that you take the time now to establish the elements within your life that bring you happiness and bring you the most joy. You are meant to spread kindness. You are meant to spread love and light. And if you don't feel like this presence is currently in your life, trust that it is there. Trust that you can find it, and trust that once you feel it, to not back down and not be afraid to ride out that wave wherever it might take you. Okay, and so for this last official spread that I'm going to do, and I will pull some oracle cards at the end as well and see if I can tap into the guides, because I do feel like the cards themselves are not quite giving enough information. I want to be able to give you a reading that you're satisfied with. So for this spread, this is called the Mountains and Molehill spread. It is a 12 card spread. So we will move a little quicker through this spread and maybe not spend quite as much time on each card, because it's almost going to be a little bit repetitive. And I'm using my Thoth Tarot deck. I sat here for a minute, was going to use my Tarot, the Divine deck, and something was telling me to use the Thoth Tarot. Maybe you have the deck. Maybe it's a deck you're connected with. Maybe it's a deck you have and you freaking hate. I don't know. Something's telling me use the Thoth Tarot, so I have to go with that intuition. So anyway, I'm just giving them a good shuffle. My table here isn't too big, so I have to move some of my crystals out of the way here to give us the space that we need. Okay. And anyway, 12 card spread. So let's go ahead and spread these cards out. This one I do face down, whereas the other ones I flip over. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 up top. 8, 9, 10, and 11, and 12. All right. So the first 3 cards are representative of the spiritual challenges that you are facing. Main spiritual challenge, minor, and another minor spiritual challenge. So the way I look at it is main spiritual challenge, major spiritual challenge, minor spiritual challenge. There is no need to go in and look at 2 different minor spiritual challenges, considering we are working from the top to the bottom here. So anyway, your main spiritual challenge is the Fool. Your main spiritual challenge, and this has come up repetitively throughout these readings in one way or another, is taking that leap of faith and believing that it is time for a new cycle to be born. We have the Fool, major arcana card, and the start to a major journey. So this is very challenging because it is very scary. Know that you have everything you need to take this leap of faith. There is absolutely nothing right now that is going to hurt you with taking this leap of faith. Your guides are here. They're very, very strong, let me tell you. They're protecting you. They feel for you. Hold up. I grabbed my journal and pen because as I'm talking, your guides are here. They're strong. Main spiritual challenge is the Fool. This darkness and this pain that you are experiencing and you have gone through is what is making you afraid to take this leap of faith. You have been hurt, particularly on the left side. This left side could represent the left hemisphere of your brain. It can represent that energy over here. Something is holding you back. It is fear. I feel like they're not giving me clear answers here. I don't think they're ready yet, but they want me to write. Let's just go along, and I'm going to keep my notebook here. Okay. Major spiritual challenge. We have success. So this lets me know there is a great fear when it comes to success. You're scared of losing out on the potential loss that could come. What can come from this potential loss is a loss of stability, and this loss of stability is terrifying for you. So if anything, I am sensing that you have a passion within you and you want to bring this passion of yours to the world, and you want to almost do similar work, and you want to share with others this similar kind of work, and it's scary to take that leap because yes, there is a financial decline at first, but know that as long as you do what you can and you spread this news and what you have, these messages you have are powerful. Your guides want you to talk with them. They are chatty Cathys. So anyway, a major spiritual challenge is that of success. You don't know how to fulfill your spiritual desires at this time. You're dabbling in divination. You're dabbling here. You're dabbling there. Set your mind on one area and devote yourself to that one area and see where it takes you from there. If it's not clicking, if it doesn't feel right and it's not fulfilling and you're getting bored, it's not for you. Move on to the next thing. Make a list of the different avenues and the different elements of spirituality that intrigue you and go through that list. Start with what you feel might intrigue you most. It's okay if once you start researching, it does not feel like you thought it would. It's not for you. That's okay. Continue on through that list. Moving on to a minor spiritual challenge of yours. We have the Six of Cups here. Now, this is showing me pleasure. Intimacy is a minor spiritual challenge of yours. This lets me know that there might be a disconnection spiritually when it comes to the intimate relationship that you are in. And this kind of came up earlier as well. And although before, I still don't feel like the wording was appropriate in regards to your relationship in the last spread, pleasure is not there the way that you want it to be. And when it comes to spirituality, there's no denying that intimacy and pleasure play an extremely important role in how we see ourselves, how we see others, and how we continue to go through life feeling fulfilled. If we don't feel fulfilled when it comes to this area of our lives, and we don't feel like our emotional cups are full, then there's no way for us to feel as though we can follow our passions and we can follow our dreams. And there is a lack of intimacy is what I see at this time. It might not be evident. And right now, I am sensing and I am picking up that it is not entirely evident in its entirety. So I would urge you to focus on the element of intimacy with your partner. The other interesting thing I do want to point out here is these two cards relating to spirituality, I don't know if you can see that, are both sixes. And I'm going to get cut off. Hang on. And so as I was saying before, I got cut off, both sixes. And sixes are representative of the domestic energies. And so it connects and goes right along with that theme that we're talking about that intimacy and that needing the support of our partners and the loved ones around us. The number 6 is summed up as the energy of Mother Nature as well. It's urging you to get in connection with nature and get out there and get your feet dirty, get your hands dirty, go for hikes, just connect with anything nature-esque as you possibly can. It's a number of balance, it's a number of harmony, and it's a number of unconditional love. So that also tells me that this main spiritual challenge of taking this leap of faith is leaving you a little bit fearful that when it comes to these relationships that you have with others around you and the people you love, you're scared you're going to lose them in the process. Trust that it's all going to be okay. Trust that anybody who has anything negative to say is because they're scared for you and because they maybe don't understand the line of work that you might want to go after. Understand that it's not a problem of yours, it's a problem of theirs. It's an internal problem that they are trying to put on you because they don't fully understand. And that is so crucial here when we have 2 sixes as our major and minor spiritual challenges underneath that Fool. You are doing everything you can. The 6s also resonate on like a higher plane of materialistic kinds of physical needs as well, which goes along with that intimacy. And so again, it just solidifies that element in the relationship category of your life. There is a lack of intimacy be it with your significant other or be it with friendships as well. And you feel this deeply. You really crave connection, and you crave bouncing ideas off of other people and talking deeply. And sometimes when it comes to our relationships, our significant others don't necessarily reciprocate in the ways that we wish they would. And I feel like that might be an area where you're finding it a little difficult. You're scared if you take this leap into the work or the line of work, or just the passion that you want to pursue, you're not going to have that support that you so deeply want. Moving right along, we move into the emotional category of this reading, and we have our main emotional challenge. And let's see what we get. Yeah, we get the five of Wands. So the Five of Wands as a major emotional challenge is that of strife. This goes along again with some of the cards we pulled in our previous spreads. There is a major element of your creativity that is clashing. There is a clash. And this is where the energy makes it difficult to read. This is where I feel this blockage is. And I say blockage in quotes and loosely because it's not the same feeling I get with clients who just aren't ready for messages. I feel you're ready. I feel like there is something being protected. And I'm not sure, to be completely honest with you, I am not sure what that is. I hope it presents itself. So we're going to move on and see if it maybe does. So major emotional challenge. Yeah, we have the Moon card, and this makes perfect sense why this is a little bit more difficult to understand and read. The Moon card is known for the distortions that life can present us and the illusions that life presents us. It is a card known for the mysticism of life and our desire to learn and to know more, but it is a card full of caution. So this major emotional challenge is holding back this main need to express your creativity, if that makes sense. It's a little difficult for you sometimes to be able to distinguish reality from illusion and distortion with our emotions and feelings and the turmoil that comes with that. This is extremely common. What I know is you are very, very aware of this distortion, and I am being told that you're struggling very, very hardly. It's not clear English. Very hardly is what's coming through, with knowing where this distinction, where the line is drawn. So your guides are showing me that you're fully aware. You know that there's an illusion. You know that there is another energy at play that is distorting the reality, and it's very difficult right now for you to be able to discern the two. And that is why this is a main emotional challenge of yours at this time. It's also a major arcana card. This is going to be the biggest challenge that you have to face and overcome when it comes to your emotional self. So let's move on at this point to your minor emotional challenge. And we get the Seven of Cups here. It's a very beautiful depiction of the Seven of Cups. And again, it shows that need to shed, the need to release, and the need to re-blossom once you've shed the excess. You are holding on to a lot of repressed energies and a lot of repressed emotions and feelings. And I know it's much easier said than done to say, hey, just let go of it. It's repressed. How the hell are we supposed to let go of something that's repressed? That's the challenge here. And that is what is causing this difficulty and distinction between reality and, I don't even want to say illusion, because our brains do play tricks on us, and our minds play tricks on us, and our feelings might mean one thing, but they're actually something else. And so it's a very difficult area to navigate. And I will come back to this specifically with some oracle cards, because this right here, your emotional challenge, yet again, is the main focus. On the other spreads it was, and in this spread so far it is as well. So now as we move along, these are mental challenges that you might be facing at this time. And sorry, I'm getting comfortable here. And so your major mental challenge, all right, Knight of Wands. So traditionally, court cards are representative of people. Now, we get the Knight of Wands in a position here of a main mental challenge. I don't feel this is relating to a person. This is relating to you. A main mental challenge of yours is you have a desire to be this Knight of Wands. You desire to be in a position to fiercely defend your morals and your ethics and your creativity. And you so desperately desire following this passion of yours. And again, this comes up yet again, and it just solidifies the importance of you breaking free and taking the reins and going after what you want. The Knight of Wands is a more youthful vitality. It's a younger entity with more immature in nature essence. This is a positive. Look at your creations and your creativity through the eyes of somebody who is not as wise, so to speak. Look at your creativity through the eyes of a child and see if that helps you better understand what route to go and how to tweak what it is you're doing in a way that might appeal more to the masses. I'm going to move on for now as well. So our next card, and we're moving right along, this is card number 8, is the minor, whatever, mental challenge number 1. And look at that, we have another knight, and it is the Knight of Swords. This card is instantly giving me feelings of a third-party interference. When it comes to this mental challenge, we have the Knight of Swords, and yet again, I hear words are at play. Hurtful words, hurtful sayings. People don't believe in you the way you believe in yourself, and because of that, it leads to a lot of depression and a lot of anxiety and a lot of fear that you're not fulfilling your life. You feel like you're getting to a point in your life where you aren't supported the way you wish you were, because people are constantly having a need to share what they think and share what they feel, and it's not their place, it's not their life. And it's very important for you to remember that we are given, I want to say one life, but if you believe in reincarnation and how the soul goes on, we're given many lives. But right now, we have this one life to live. And it is crucial for you to mentally believe that no one else's life matters besides your own, in the sense of how you live it. Of course, the people we love, we have to be there for. Morally and ethically, those things are going to be the most important elements. What I'm saying is, follow your passion, follow what makes you happy, and you can do this on the side. It's in the back of my head this whole time. Don't think that I'm trying to tell you to completely give up on whatever it is you're doing in life right now. This is a creative outlet that you are destined to explore on the side right now and see where it leads you. I have a feeling it's actually going to lead you to great prospects, and it makes me a little excited to think about. But when it comes to this Knight of Swords cards as a mental challenge, no one, and I mean no one, not even yourself, has the right to tell you that what you feel in your soul is meant for you is wrong. No one has the right to tell you that your truth is wrong. Your truth and what makes you feel whole is 110% valid and 110% right, because it is yours. Nobody can take that away. No matter how hard they try, that is not going anywhere. It will always be there. It will always resurface, and it will always find a way to come back around. And if you can remember that and you can fight for that, then eventually all the naysayers are going to fall by the wayside, because they're going to see you succeed. They're going to see you happy. Are they still going to try to tear you down? Yes. Will it matter and will it impact you as much? No. And eventually you'll get to a point where they don't want to put up that fight anymore either. But it's heartbreaking when I see these cards and I'm hearing these messages from your guides, how little support I feel you have right now when it comes to the passions you have in life. And I don't feel you're supported the way you need to be. It's important to reach out to a community that can support you better. And we have another cup card as our minor mental challenge. It is the 8 of Cups. I'm not surprised by this at all. So this minor mental challenge is, I feel we've actually already spoken about this mostly, is this loop. It's an 8. 8 is infinite. It goes in circles, you know? And there's a lot of indolences when it comes to these feelings. There is a lot of sadness. However, the good news is, at the top of this emotional ladder, so to speak, is very, I don't want to say stable, but I'm going to say stable, because at the top of this ladder of emotions currently, your cups are not overflowing. Your second level is, and your bottom level is collecting, with one in the middle with nothing. You're doing a good job. You're ignoring the main feelings and the main emotions. As a result, these ones down here are trickling down, and it's creating a little bit of turbulence. The other element here, and I actually did grab my book a little bit because I felt like there was another important element here, and thank God for this book here, because it really did help pinpoint that element that I was missing. And it's that abandoned success that we've talked about before, how you were trying and trying and falling and trying and falling and trying and falling. So it's almost like you gave up. And so this card here is representative of abandoning those successes, and a decline of interest in anything, temporary success but without further result, instability, misery, and repining, journeying from place to place, and may mean leaving material success for something higher. I feel like a lot of this we did talk about already. I feel like that just solidifies the importance of you following your dreams and knowing that it's crucial for you to block out external stimuli and external opinions unless they're for your higher good. You are so creative. You are so intuitive. You have gifts that are destined to be shared with the world. And I have a feeling you know how you want to share those gifts. I have a feeling that you are going to have a very creative, very new modality and way of being able to share this with others and share this with the world. And I am excited for you, because what you have to offer, when I look at the cards right now that we've pulled so far, is going to be monumental to the lives of many people. You need to believe in yourself first, though. Yeah. You need to believe in yourself. So, The last 3 cards are representative of just any other challenges, 1, 2, and 3, that you might be facing at this time. Okay, we get the 8 of, I believe this card in this deck is representative of discs, is what you might be familiar with, or pentacles in other decks. And it shows I don't see a challenge here, to be completely honest with you. If anything, I see that it might be hard for you not to gain, like when you don't have the immediate reassurance of success, sometimes it might be difficult for you to feel like the path is right for you or that you're doing the right thing. Instant gratification, that's the term I was looking for. Know that with pretty much any kind of spiritual work, instant gratification is not a thing. It takes a long time. And it really takes trusting yourself and believing in yourself and believing that the messages you're giving, although they might not always make sense to you, are coming from a higher state of being. And because of that, then you just have to trust and go with the flow. It might not make sense to you, but it will make sense to other people. And it's important that you remain prudent and you remain optimistic and open-minded and non-judgmental in the messages that do come through. You're very clairaudient is also what I'm picking up here. That was just something that popped in, was clairaudience. Your guides are loud. I'm sure you know that. And the other thing that I feel is important to add to that is do not sell yourself short when it comes to the intelligence that you possess. The 8 of Discs card here is a card also known for that intelligence and the importance of sharing that with others. You are very well versed and very well read in a lot of these areas and in a lot of different categories in general, and you are very, very intelligent, and don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Another challenge that you are facing at this time, I had a feeling this card was going to be coming up at some point in time. Things around you are crumbling, they're falling, they're crashing, and you're stuck in that turbulence. You're stuck in that destruction. You're stuck in having to give yourself over to the fact that you are going to need to start again. It's never easy when we see the Tower card. It's not as bad as the Devil, so we'll put it that way. However, as you know, because I do know that you understand tarot as well, is that it is also a very positive card in the sense that it allows you to rebuild your foundation with the morals and ethics that you feel should be applied and what matters to you most. So as you rebuild yourself, once you allow this to ruin and you allow the dust to settle and you feel ready to start rebuilding, make sure that you rebuild with your truth and your needs in mind. Make sure that you ignore any negativity from anybody, even if it's disguised as helpful. Know in your gut you have very strong intuition about you. If it doesn't feel genuine, we'll leave it out. If it feels like genuine constructive criticism, then you can consider whether or not you want to lay that into your brickwork as you rebuild your foundation and you rediscover who you are. I've been waiting for this card. I knew it was coming. And I know that this is a major challenge because all the other cards are talking about this rediscovery of who you are and this like newfound inspiration and passion in you. So I'm not surprised that you are finding yourself in the ruins of who you once were, which is obviously also leading to this difficulty of emotions and this feeling of lack of intimacy, and this strife that's very hard for me to read right now, is because you have so much going on and so much turmoil and so much inside of you that's just overwhelming. I really need to get a more clear message from your guides here. And like, my notebook fell, my pencil has fallen into the abyss, So we'll come back to that. But there's messages here. I'll do my best. Prince of Wands is our last challenge here. So, Court card. Representative most often of somebody else. And yes, I do feel this is representative of somebody else in your life who you look up to because they have followed their passions. You look up to them because they have taken their creativity to the next level. And this is somebody who has blazed a path of their own and seems to be riding on a wave of positivity and positive inner what's the word I'm looking for? Confidence. And this is somebody that you can absolutely look up to. This can mimic the mentor that we pulled in the earlier spread. Now, again, this is the Prince of Wands. This is not, say, the King of Coins that we pulled earlier. So this is a youthful person. This is somebody younger. This is not somebody who is, like a shaman who's been, doing it for their whole life, for instance. And I know that's a pretty grand comparison there, but you get what I'm saying. This Prince of Wands is somebody who is moving in a forward momentum. This is somebody who is blazing a path for themselves. They're making a name for themselves. They are doing so with grace. They're doing so with honor. They are spreading light and positivity. They do a very good job of taking that constructive criticism and that negativity that people place upon them. They are carrying that with them, but they are not allowing it to get in their way. And so what they're doing is they're taking this negativity, they're placing it in a basket, and then they're placing it in their carriage and moving on. They're taking it with them so that they can dispel of it when they can, so that it doesn't get in their way. They're not leaving it where it is and having to, travel and overcome this difficult terrain. They're taking it, they're not giving it attention, and they are going to dispel of it when they need to and when the time is right. And this is somebody that can be very influential in your life. And this is definitely 100% somebody that you should reach out to and talk with and just see if they're willing to take on that mentor role as well. This could be somebody, again, in the business who you want to hire as a mentor. This could be a friend of yours who is just willing to talk openly with you and just support you. And again, this is energy that you absolutely can take on yourself. Perhaps this is somewhere you want to get, and this is just the energy that you need in your life to allow yourself to believe that you can get there too. So I just kind of took a moment to pull out my journal again and just kind of let some words flow. And I'm going to come back to this at the end, but I do have some words that have come through. They might mean something to you. They might make no sense at all. That's normal. Sometimes it won't make sense. Sometimes it will. If it makes sense, you'll know. It'll ignite something in you. But anyway, just to end this reading with the cards, I'm just going to pull from a couple Rebecca Campbell decks that I have. We're going to just pull from the Rose Oracle. Come on, I'll move. The Work Your Light Oracle. And the Starseed Oracle, because starseeds are everything, right? You are most certainly a starseed. You're most certainly a light worker. So it's important that we have these three elements at play here. And so let's go ahead. I'm going to start with just pulling one card from each. And I know this reading is like far longer than 40 minutes. I always like to give as much as I can for like the first bookings for any of my clients if it's outside of the fairs that I'm at, because I'm limited to only 15 minutes at those fairs. But I just want to make sure that we cover as much as we can. So yeah. just giving them a good shuffle. I'm going to pull the top card of each deck. So it's like a 3-card pull. However, they're 3 different decks. I have the Rose Oracle in the middle, Starseed Oracle on the left, and Work Your Light Oracle on my right. And so now we're going to shuffle the Work Your Light Oracle. All right. Starseed Oracle. Baby steps. Action. Follow your intuition before it makes sense. This goes right back to a lot of other cards that we have pulled, and specifically that first card, the 3 of Wands, and taking baby steps. In order to get to where you want to be spiritually, emotionally, mentally, it's going to be super important to take the baby steps needed and necessary to get to where you want to be. Making sure that you trust that innate gift of yours, that intuition that you have, and those abilities that you have, that clairsentience and that clairaudience and claircognizance as well is there. Maybe not as strongly as the others. And of course, the empath nature, which is very hard to navigate, as most of us know. Making sure you follow that intuition is going to bring you to the gate, and from there you're going to be able to feel more comfortable diving in and following the guidance and the intuition and see where it leads you. But make sure you take those baby steps to get there. The smaller the steps, the smaller the fall back. The bigger the steps, the bigger the fall. It's really that simple. For our Rose Oracle pull, we get the Breathing Rose, Heart Healing, Emotions, Connection, and Time Ease. This again goes right along with everything that we have pulled so far, and it is emphasizing that importance of healing your inner traumas and healing those inner wounds, accepting that they happened, accepting that that was life for you, accepting that there's going to be more difficulties ahead, and that it's going to be impossible to break free of all of the traumas that have been placed upon you. And that is a very hard realization to come to. Once you're able to get to that point where you're able to look at life without thinking, why did I have to be the one to suffer so much? Or why is it always me? And maybe eliminating that element can help some people. I'm being told that that's not the case with you. Connection is a difficult part of your life. Connecting with others on a level that you feel fulfilled is difficult for you. And this card is showing me that deep breaths and breathing in all that life has to offer, and going solo for a little while might be the best course of action that you can find. Absolutely reach out to mentors. The mentor relationship is a little bit different than, say, a friendship relationship. Of course, there's a level of intimacy because there is a level of deep diving into those emotions and into those traumas and healing. It is a little bit different of a connection, and understand that as time goes on, it does get easier. It's okay to allow yourself to ignore and forget traumas that are holding you back. Find a way to accept that it happened and no longer give it leverage over your life now. It is okay to let go. It is okay to say fuck that and move the fuck on. There is nothing wrong with erasing it. It's okay. And our Work Your Light Oracle is giving us trust the niggle. What is the niggling feeling trying to tell you? And this goes back to your intuition and the importance of listening to your gut, listening to the intuition, listening to your guides, following the synchronicities that are around you and the messages that are being presented to you. And ask yourself that difficult question: what does this mean? Why am I getting this message now? Why, ask all the whys and the whats you possibly can so that you can come to a more clear and concise answer. Know that you're not alone on this journey. Your guides are behind you. And And one thing I love to do is work with spirit guides, and I've said it numerous times now. Your guides are loud, and they are powerful, and they are strong, and they want to be heard. There is absolutely more than one of them. And they are holding the light for you right now. And when you are ready to accept that light, they are more than happy to hand it over. You are going to need to tell them when you're ready. They'll know when you're ready, but they're going to be waiting for you to confirm that you are ready for them to hand that light over. And once they hand that light over is where you are going to find yourself expanding, and you are going to find that the possibilities are endless and the universe is vast. There are still going to be times of the lows, and there are still going to be highs. It's inevitable. There are still going to be mental challenges, and there are still going to be elements that are going to always impede as you move forward in life. And it's going to be important to learn to accept and give yourself grace in those moments and in those periods of time. You have an infinite amount of power to you. You have an intimate amount of grace and patience and forgiveness and understanding when it comes to the world around you and when it comes to the people around you as well. You have secluded yourself. I don't feel you are fulfilled with the people that you have surrounded yourself with in its entirety. That is okay. Allow this time to be the time that you need to focus on yourself and focus on what you need to do to feel happy and to feel fulfilled. There's a lack of intimacy. There is a lack of trust. There is a potential lack of boundaries. And despite your unending, you have made it clear what your boundaries are. However, it's very clear that they are not being respected by others. And unfortunately, I don't see that ending anytime soon. So what's going to be important in that case scenario is just accepting that it's the way it is and not letting the energy affect you. So don't absorb the energy, let it bounce off of you, and do what you can to distance. So just to wrap the reading up, I'm going to pull an angel message card from my angel inspiration deck. It's very important to connect with our angels as best we can, our spirit guides, and just that divinity and what they can bring us. So let's just see what angel is presenting themselves to you currently at this time. If when you hear that word angel and it kind of like gives you some like disconnect or some dissonance within yourself because it doesn't feel true to who you are, that's okay. It still can't hurt to understand that angels are not a religious aspect. It is a very spiritual aspect. And who do we get? Okay, we get number 35, Hope. This deck is, I don't have this deck memorized by any means, because I just don't feel it's necessary. So 35, the card of Hope is the angel, Jeremiah, angel of hopes and dreams. Every day we are bombarded with troubling stories. It's difficult to not feel hopeless and have a heavy heart. Apathy sets in and is difficult to let go of when you simply observe and do nothing. It's impossible for one person to change the entire world, but if you just start with doing one thing to make a difference, you can bring a sense of hope into your life. Seek out something you truly feel passionate about and dedicate time or resources to making a difference in that area. Being around others who are also passionate about making a difference will bring you a sense of purpose, belonging, and hope. And when you find hope, share it with others. Show others that a sense of purpose and direction can bring hope to their lives too. A couple questions that the angels want you to ask yourself are, do you feel your feelings of hopelessness with apathy? Do you feed your feelings of hopelessness with apathy? I think we both know the answer to that question. Do you participate in activities that bring a sense of hope into your life? Make sure you are doing those things, of course. And then two things that you should tell yourself is I make choices that bring hope to my life and to the world. I bring choices that bring hope to my life and to the world. And number two, I lovingly instill hope into the lives of others. I lovingly instill hope into the lives of others. And then this leads me to the last part of my readings, where I will pull a divine direction card at random. Proud. Be proud of who you are, where you've been, and where you're going. This is very important, and this is very positive affirmation of yours. Remember to be proud of all the hard work you have put in this life. And this last card that I'm going to pull is a positive affirmation card that, again, has a few questions that you can ask yourself on the back. Now, usually when I do fairs, I allow my clients to take these with them. So I took pictures of a few spreads, so I'll make sure to send you the pictures of these cards as well with those spreads for you. So let's see what we get for you. There it is. Yeah. I am who I want to be. This is powerful for you because you're discovering exactly who you want to be, and you know who you want to be. So tell yourself this: I am who I want to be, and repeat it, repeat it, repeat it. The questions it wants you to ask yourself is, how much do I trust myself? Do I listen to others more than myself? And these are things that we talked about in this reading as well. So I will put those aside and I will take a picture of those. I will also actually take a picture of the angel card that we pulled for you as well, just so that you can have that on hand as well if you want. And then before I forget, when I did a little bit of automatic writing with your guides, again, there's a blockage here, but we did have a few things pop up. I'm just going to read through the phrases that came through. They might not mean anything to you. They might not make sense at the moment. However, something might come up and you're like, oh my God. So anyway, I have arcane knowledge, ancestral damage, degrading, rearranging materialistic endings, minimalism, devotion and serenity, calming waters, entering abysses, and needing sacred time alone. You are scared, tired, tried, and disheveled. Aromatics such as lavender, I'm being told, might be important for you. Apple pie. Don't know why it came through, but apple pie came through. Apple pie, maybe you should bake an apple pie. I don't really know. Maybe you'll know what that one means. And then the last thing that came through that just started playing in my head is the song Every Rose Has Its Thorn. And just the pen was writing, every rose has its thorn, just like every cowboy has a sad, sad song. I don't know if that song holds any meaning to you. It might hold a uncomfortable meaning. Sometimes that happens. On the other page here, I have Inuit. This other page is hard to read. I have the candor of light and something about praise. I have fading and I have sabotage. This page is hard to read, but I will send you pictures of these as well. And I hope that that reading helped. I will be using my app to put all these clips together into one video. So again, just be prepared to have a few breaks in the video. It's just me stitching it all together. And so thank you so much. Obviously, positive feedback is welcome. It is absolutely not required. I do just hope that it helped. And so thank you again.